Good day and welcome back to Ed's Garage at Merton Hyundai. Today we are looking at a 2022 Elantra Ultimate with the tech package. That's right, finally I'm getting a look at this vehicle. It's funny, I thought I already made a video on the 2022 or the 21 Ultimate tech package and I didn't, so I apologize for the delay, but here it is. This is the Ultimate Elantra. Now of course, no changes from 2021 where they did the full redesign, but you know what? Because I haven't done the video, well, now I am. So let's check it out. All right, so starting at the front of the Elantra, of course, we have this big, beautiful, bold-styled grille and that wraps right into the headlights, which looks really, really cool. They are LED headlights and high beams, and you'll notice they're actually a projection lens at LED headlight and high beam. Plus, you got the LED accent light right above that for your daytime running light. Down below that, you can see right above the nice shiny panel here, we have the air curtain pass-through. That, of course, creates a curtain of air over the wheels, reducing aerodynamic drag. Coming around to the side, and the first thing we're going to see are these beautiful aluminum alloy wheels. Now, these are a 17-inch aluminum alloy rim, wrapped in 225/45s. 17-inch, of course. They are a Kumo Majesty Solus. That's a new one for me. They are, of course, a mud and snow rated tire, and all season, of course. Coming further around the side, you can see we've got the marker lights on the mirrors, and in the mirrors, of course, you have the blind spot monitor. And then on the door handle, you notice we got the proximity entry button, and inside there's a little light that comes on, a little accent light as you approach the vehicle. Kind of cool. Down the side of the Elantra, you can see we have this really cool cut line. It's actually it's called parametric design. It looks like a Z in the door. Is really neat. It's actually a nice solid cut line. It's subtle but noticeable, so pretty cool. Now, of course, as with a lot of Hyundai vehicles, this one is equipped with smart trunk. So you can see the trunk just popped open without me touching it. As long as you have the proximity key in your pocket or in your purse or on your person somewhere, you can actually do that. Just walk up to the back and the door will, or the trunk will actually pop open for you. Pretty cool. All right, so inside the very generously large trunk, actually, it's a huge trunk. You'll notice right up here, we've got the subwoofer because this vehicle is equipped with the Bose audio system. And underneath the floor, we have a spare tire and jack. So no tire repair kit here. It is also a split folding rear bench. So these are little tabs to put the seats down, and they fold down pretty flat, 60/40 split. On the back of the Elantra, pretty cool. They've actually put the word Elantra there along the trunk lid, and that's kind of a nice luxury sort of touch. Above that, we have the button to open up the trunk. Now, of course, that only works if you're close enough with the key. So we'll try that one more time. There we go. So you don't actually have to wait for the smart trunk. You can simply pop the trunk by hitting that button. You'll also notice we have proximity sensors on the back of the Elantra. So as you approach an object behind you, it's going to beep and warn you that there's something there. Pretty nice looking tail end. The exhaust pipe is kind of hidden down below there because that's becoming out of fashion. All right, and next we're going to open up the back door. Now, I've actually gone ahead and set that seat up where I would normally put it to drive it. So, sorry, hopefully you can see me here with the sun. So I'm going to get into the back seat. Now, this is the largest in class interior for a compact sedan. Apparently, there is no other compact sedans with this much interior space. And let me tell you, it's definitely showing because honestly, I've got great headroom here and my legroom is perfectly fine as well. It's actually more than adequate. I've got a good finger width in there, and this is actually all the way back for me as a 6'2" individual. I can also slide my feet underneath the seat, as you can see, and I do have height adjustment on the front seat as well. So if a shorter person's in front, obviously it's going to be better back here. But even with a 6'2" individual, it's still plenty spacious. On the back of the seat backs, you'll notice we have solid seat backs. That's awesome because that means anybody that does climb in back here, if they're bumping the seat or kicking the seat, you're not going to feel that nearly as much with that nice hard plastic. It's also got a cargo net here on the passenger side seat back pocket. And we have heated seats in the back of the Elantra. So the outboard seats are heated. And of course, a nice soft center cup holder armrest. Nice and cushy, and room for 2 cups. All right, let's move to the front seat. The 2022 Elantra carries over pretty much everything from 2021, no real changes. So the engine's a 2-liter, 4-cylinder Atkinson cycle engine, makes 147 horsepower. It's mated to an IVT transmission, which is Hyundai's version of a CVT, essentially. An IVT does have a larger and smaller gear ratio than your typical CVT, however, and it's chain driven, and it's not made by the same company as the one that's had all the issues. If you know which company I'm talking about, note it below. I want to see if you know. Anyway, so that IVT transmission in conjunction with that very fuel-efficient engine together make up a very fuel-efficient vehicle. Only 6.7 liters per 100 kilometers, which is spectacular for a vehicle this size. Remember, this is a compact sedan, but it has mid-size sedan interior. Now, if you're looking for something even more efficient, consider the hybrid version of the Elantra, although with this chip shortage that's going on, probably a little harder to get a hold of. Some other things to note about the Elantra, of course, Hyundai's warranty, a 5-year, 100,000 kilometer warranty that covers most of the vehicle's components. That's a lot better than what you get from most other manufacturers. Companies like Mazda, Ford, Toyota, Honda, they give you a 3-year, 60,000 new car warranty, and then it's just powertrain beyond that. Hyundai goes a lot farther with a coverage that covers, it's still limited comprehensive, but it's not just powertrain. So things like your power windows, your power locks, your power mirrors, your heated seats, all of those things are still covered for the 5-year, 100,000 warranty in Canada. Now, you've also got 5 years of roadside assistance anywhere in North America, and that gives you free towing up to 100 kilometers to the nearest dealership or to your home or wherever you need to have it taken. You also get 3 years free BlueLink in this vehicle. Now, BlueLink is a system whereby you can remotely start the car, you can remotely unlock the doors, you can find the vehicle on a Google map, all from your cell phone. So you can actually start your car from your cell phone. So if you're on vacation in Australia and somebody left their purse in your car, you can actually unlock the doors for them. They can get in, take their purse out, and then you can relock the doors all from your cell phone from an app. It's pretty cool. On top of that, you also get automated emergency system calling. So in the event of a collision, it will call emergency services for you automatically. There's also a couple of buttons up here on the headliner for calling for roadside assistance and calling for emergency assistance. So that's, again, all included for free for 3 years. All right, let's cover some of the features in this very feature-rich Ultimate Tech Package. All right, so starting on the left side of the dash, you can see we have the Lane Keep Assist button. Now, the Lane Keep Assist actually is part of a 2-part system. You got Lane Keep Assist and Lane Follow Assist. The Lane Keep Assist works on the highway, so any speeds over 64 kilometers an hour. And basically what you're going to see is this little icon right here. If that lights up green, that means it's able to see the lines. Now, only over 64 kilometers an hour, and if it's turned on, it'll stay on until you turn it off, whether you turn the car off or on. The other part of that system is Lane Follow Assist. That is by default turned off, so you need to turn it on initially, and you'll see the icon for that right there. Now again, when that icon goes green, that means that system is active, but that will work as low as 1 kilometer an hour. So it's not an automated vehicle. It will steer itself to some degree, but it's more of a helper. It's an input. It's not going to take over. You can actually swerve around objects and you don't have to worry about it taking over from you or ripping the wheel out of your hand or anything crazy like that. But it's pretty cool. It's kind of an assist. So if you're looking down at the stereo or something like that and you start to drift, it's going to try to keep you back in your lane. Moving over to the steering wheel. Now, it is a tilt and telescopic steering wheel, and it's heated all the way around. You can see the button for that in the comfort zone. Now, I like to call this the comfort zone because it has everything to do with comfort. So your heated steering wheel, your heated seats, and your dual zone climate control. But more on that later. So as far as the buttons on the steering wheel go, you've got voice recognition here. Now, the cool thing with the voice recognition, when you press it, find an address in British Columbia. 31977 Keystone Avenue, Mission. Line 1. So you may have noticed I didn't actually wait for the voice recognition to stop talking. I just talked over it and it worked just fine. You don't have to actually wait for it. And you can see that navigation system comes up big and beautiful. We can actually go full screen with that as well. Again, more on that later. But as I was getting at, the neat thing with this button is that you can either use it for the built-in voice recognition, or when you have Apple CarPlay connected or Android Auto, when you press that button, it'll access your phone's assistant and of course put everything subsequently on the screen. Even without your phone connected, if you have an Apple phone, you can hold this button down and access Siri as long as it's connected via Bluetooth. The other buttons on here, mode will switch between where music's coming from, AM, FM, and of course the included Sirius XM radio. You've got your volume rocker. This will go through different presets or different tracks. You got answer and hang up. On the right hand side here, you've got these two buttons which control stuff on that screen, and then you have the drive buttons here, so cruise and lane follow assist, as I mentioned earlier. The cruise control, basically you turn it on simply by pressing that button. Now that will actually set your speed. This will increase and decrease your speed by either 1 or 10 kilometer increments, depending on whether you just press it or hold it. It'll also resume and cancel your speed. And then this one right here will adjust the follow distance between you and the car in front of you. So if you're using cruise control, the cool thing with this system is that it'll actually distance itself from the car in front of you. If they come to a stop, this car will come to a stop. This vehicle actually is equipped with adaptive cruise control stop and go. So if they completely slow down, come to a stop, this vehicle will stop, wait for them to go away, and then it will start to go again as well, assuming it's within 3 seconds. After 3 seconds, you will need to hit resume or just tap the gas pedal to get it going again. But a really nice system, and it's adjustable by 4 different distances. So that's what this button does, is it adjusts those follow distances dynamically depending on the speed that you're going, but up to 4 different lengths of space. All right, looking down at the console here, you can see it's actually pretty decent size. It's enough room for most people. Here you have a dual cup holder, of course, and this little centerpiece comes out. You flip it around, put it back in, and you'll notice now actually these are higher up. So if you have shorter cups, you can flip this around to kind of, help you access the cup easily. If you have taller, like mugs or whatever, travel mugs, now it's a lot deeper. Pretty cool. Further up on the console, you've got your auto hold. So auto hold basically will keep the vehicle in place when you take your foot off the brake, whether or not you're on a hill. So if I put the vehicle in drive now and press auto hold, the car won't move. I've got my foot off the brake. You see we're not moving and we are in drive, as you can see. As soon as I touch the gas, it starts to go. All right. Above that, you've got the button for the e-brake. Now, basically what you do is just pull that button up and it sets the e-brake, as you can see right in the screen there. However, if my seatbelt was on and I put it into drive and then basically started to drive, you'll notice the e-brake comes off just as easily as that. Up a little further here, we have the the camera, the backup camera, so you can enable and disable that. We'll have a quick look at the backup camera here. It's a very, very clear image. You can see very, very clearly everything that's behind you, but if I put it into reverse, you'll notice it actually has dynamic steering lines. And guys, one thing to note, this is not a polarized screen. So if you're wearing polarized sunglasses, it's not a problem. You're still going to be able to see the screen just fine. The other thing to note on here is you can see the bumper along the bottom. So even though it's a very wide angle lens, you can still see the bumper, and you can actually adjust the image so that it's facing down over the bumper as well, and you still get the dynamic steering lines. How cool is that? All right, right above that button there is the drive mode button. So drive modes, there are 3 drive modes. You have normal, sport, and smart. Now what's really neat is you can actually set it up to change this display when you put it into the different drive modes. But normal mode is normal. Sport mode tightens up the steering wheel and it gives you more low-end kick. And smart mode basically looks to see how you're driving and then it adjusts accordingly. It puts it into like an economical mode or a sporty mode, depending on how you're driving. So if you're driving aggressively, it'll do sport mode kind of automatically for you. All right, and right in front of the shifter, which I'll move out of the way here, you can see we have the wireless charging pad. A very, very quick wireless charging pad. It's 40 watts, it's ventilated, you can see the little holes in there. So not only will it charge your phone very quickly, faster than pretty much any other company, but it'll also do its best to keep it cool so it doesn't overheat the battery. Right above that, you've got 2 USB ports. So this one here is for your passenger to charge their phone, and this one here is for the Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You've also got a 12-volt port as well, 12 volts, 180 watts. And then we have finally the climate control system. Now, I really love how Hyundai kind of lays things out. All of the drive controls are here. All of the climate and comfort controls are here, the comfort zone, and all of the stereo controls are from here up. So intuitive, smart design. They're not separating it all and putting things in different places. So in the comfort zone, dual zone automatic climate control. So each front occupant can actually choose their own temperature. And what's really nice, it does have a bit of a luxury feature here. You can adjust the intensity of the system. So if you want the fan noise down a little bit, like for this video, we don't want it at full speed, we want it on medium or low. And that's kind of nice. So you don't always have to have it on cranked fan when it's trying to cool the vehicle down. Obviously it'll take a little bit longer to cool the vehicle down on the interior, but you at least have that option. Of course, you do have heated seats as well, and I mentioned earlier a heated steering wheel. Now, there's two pretty cool features in this vehicle that a lot of people actually don't even know about. One is the automatic defrost system. So up in the screen, in the windshield up here, there's actually a moisture sensor that detects when the window is fogging up, and it'll automatically put on the defrost for you, so you never really need to hit that button. The other really cool feature is the auto recirculate on windshield washer fluid use. Now, windshield washer fluid, you know, sometimes it doesn't smell very nice, so you don't want to smell it. So check this out. If I pull the windshield washer stock, watch what happens. So this one right here is fresh air, and this one is recirculate. Okay, watch this. Pretty cool, eh? So it automatically switches to recirculate so that you don't have to smell the windshield washer fluid. Hyundai's coming up with some pretty crazy features in entry-level vehicles. This vehicle is about 30 grand in Canada. For 30 grand, getting a feature like that, that's a luxury car feature. And it doesn't stop there, guys. It continues on, and let's show you those things. Okay, so that's all of the comfort zone stuff. Right above that, we have the stereo screen. Now, on the stereo, obviously, you have the navigation system. You have the ability to play music from an Apple device, an Android device, have Android Auto, Apple CarPlay up on the screen, of course. There's a couple other really cool things in here as well. So let's go over those. So first thing I'll show you here is the home screen. Now, this is the start sort of home screen. You'll notice it says guest up here. And the reason it says guest is because you can actually have two other driver profiles. So driver 1, driver 2, and then a guest profile. The driver 1 and driver 2 profile will save individual presets as well as ambient light colors and dashboard lighting levels and things like that. And I believe even the climate control settings. So if you go into the settings and go to the driver profiles and actually configure it, this is what it looks like. So we're going to go driver 1, confirm. Now, we haven't actually set driver 1 up yet, so let's do that now so you can see exactly what it looks like. All right, so we're English, so we're going to put on English. QWERTY keyboard, sure. Now, we're going to leave it on driver 1 for now for the name. Now, check this out. So in the map screen, you can actually have a 2D head up, 2D north up, or 3D bird view. Well, 3D bird view is the nicest one, so we'll hit that. And then if you hit profile settings, unlike what I just did, it comes up with this screen here, which we can then change the name on. We can link a BlueLink account and even link Bluetooth devices. But the thing to keep in mind is when you actually set up a profile and then adjust some of the stuff in the vehicle, like the climate control, it will remember that for the next time you log into that profile. So you don't necessarily need to set up everything in the profile settings. It'll just remember the last settings of the car that you had on when you were in that particular profile and then adjust accordingly. Pretty neat. All right, so now I'm back at the home screen. You see it says driver 2. Again, I can name that if I wanted to, but we'll leave it for now. All right, on the other side here, you'll notice you can see the map sort of to some degree. It's kind of shaded and you know, cool looking. Now, you don't actually have to look at the map like this. This is just kind of the home screen. It just looks nice. But we'll move it over, and you can see home screen number 2, which gives you the option to go straight to the map, navigation menu, to the phone screen, etc. Pretty neat, you know, look to it. One thing I wish Hyundai did was that I wish they kept the icons different colors because it was a little easier to find them. But I guess if you get used to it, it doesn't really matter too much. Just becomes muscle memory at that point. Sliding over one more, you can see we've got the BlueLink connectivity stuff right here. Notifications is part of BlueLink as well. The user manual gives you a QR code from which to access the user manual online. All right, jumping over to the map screen. A couple things to note in here. You'll notice now we have that 3D view. You can quickly, easily change the view right with this little icon up here. But by default, it's going to go to whatever you set it to in the profile settings. And you notice it's actually very, very responsive. Easy to use this one as well. So to find an address, again, you saw how I did it earlier. The other way to do it using the voice recognition would be to find the nearest something. So if we went, find the nearest Canadian Tire. Line 1. So that's the other way you can quickly set a destination very easily. And of course, if you wanted to, you could go into the nav screen and do it from there as well. So if I hit the nav screen here and I go to places, I can then search for an address. I can also check for POIs, points of interest, previous destinations. I can set up my home, my work, favorites. Very, very easy to use, just like any, store-bought GPS system. All right, let's check out the radio screen. So if we go to the radio screen here, I'm going to mute it right away. It's got this cool sort of vacuum tube look to it. As you adjust the stations, you'll notice it's kind of got like that digital look to it. It's pretty neat, so I'm going to mute that right away. There we go. It does also have HD radio, so if it's picking up weather information or traffic information, especially for the SiriusXM satellite radio, but also for the FM stations, it'll actually be able to provide that information to you as well. Setting up presets, pretty easy. You just hit the little favorite thing there. So you notice the different presets along the bottom. They don't actually have to be one band or another. You can actually put all the different types of presets on the same row. So you see we've got FM, AM, and SiriusXM stations all in the same list of presets. So you don't actually have to switch from one type to another. Pretty cool. Now back at the home screen here again, the middle home screen anyway. I wanted to show you the sounds of nature if you haven't already seen that. So sounds of nature are sort of calming sounds that Hyundai provides, something that they haven't really changed actually much in the last few years or in the few years that they've had it. But you get snowy village, lively forest, calming seaways. To give you an idea of what it sounds like, now, it's probably not coming through that well on my microphone, but the sound is actually spectacular. I mean, if you were to actually close your eyes, you could probably convince yourself that you were there. It's a really, really nice, crisp sound. Great bass coming out of that subwoofer in the back. We have the center channel up front here as well. So obviously, we've all heard of Bose, and Bose does a great job in any vehicle that they do their stereos in. So really, really nice stereo. All right, so I wanted to take you to the vehicle settings real quick and show you some things that you can alter and change in here, because this is pretty cool. So first off, you go to setup here, or you can go to setup on the home screen, and it comes up with a bunch of different things you can set up. We're now in the vehicle settings, and we have on the top of the menu here driver assistance, where you can change things like how quickly the vehicle reacts to different things, your blind spot, safety. Check this out, not only does it have blind spot warning, it's got an active assist, so if it detects that you're still about to hit the car beside you, it'll actually use the brakes to kind of avoid that collision. You have rear cross traffic safety with active assist, so again, it will apply the brakes if you're about to hit something behind you. Lane safety, you've got the lane safety assist or just a warning. So there's lots of things you can actually customize in there. Pretty cool. If we go to cluster, that's going to give us the option to change the instrument cluster theme. So right now it's linked to drive mode because we're in driver 2. Earlier I didn't have that linked, but check this out. If I change the drive mode, there's normal, there's sport. There's that cool red sport drive mode view. And then of course smart takes us back to this one. Don't worry about the flickering, guys. It's not actually doing that in person. It's just my camera. So yeah, really nice kind of classic look. And of course, if you want, then you can go to here and actually change it to theme D, which is the little digital cubes. Looks something like out of the future. Pretty neat. You also can turn on the welcome sound here as well, and you can change the content and include things like traffic signs. Well, why wouldn't you have traffic signs? That's good information to have. In the climate, here's where you can enable and disable that automatic recirculation and defrost. The seat, we can actually change the rear seat heat. You can turn them on or off. So if somebody's back there and they're playing with the seat heat, you can actually go and block them out. It's pretty cool. But this is really nice. Ambient light, check this out. So of course you do have ambient light in the vehicle. Obviously I can't show you that now because it has to be dark out, but you can actually change the color to whatever color you want. Look at this. So I believe there's 256 potential options of colors there. That's pretty nice. So that comes out of basically up in the footwells there. I believe there's light that comes out along here. But yeah, it's pretty neat. And the other thing you can do is actually link that to the drive mode. So if you want, it'll actually change the ambient light color based on the drive mode that you're in. So I believe sport mode gives you kind of a red, and then the other mode is just kind of blue. So pretty cool. The other thing you can do in here, of course, is change the headlight delay, and of course it has high beam assist, which you can enable and disable as well. So high beam assist, basically what that does is if it detects a car coming towards you and your high beams are on, it'll turn them off temporarily. Also in here is the door settings, so you can change whether or not the smart trunk is turned on or whether or not you have the 2-press unlock. So 1 button press would unlock just the driver's door, 2 button presses unlocks all the doors. So a lot of stuff that you can kind of customize and configure to your liking. So everybody can have their vehicle set up the way that they want. And now with this vehicle, of course, you have 2 user profiles. So if you have 2 people driving the vehicle regularly, you can set all of that stuff up based on your personal profile, and then it changes when the other driver jumps in and chooses their profile. Pretty neat. All right, so having a look a little bit further up, we can see we have an auto dimming rear view mirror. There's home link buttons there for garage doors and gates. And then further on the headliner, you've got your controls for your sunroof. Now the sunroof itself opens up to about there and then stops. So you can see it's a pretty good distance. However, it does open further if you hit the button a second time. The reason for that is just that in this position, it would actually stop that crazy helicopter buffeting noise. But if you open it further back up, it doesn't do that, and you'd get that noise unless you had one of the other windows open. Both of the side visors do slide out, and they both have mirrors, and they both have lights that shut off when you close the side visor, by the way. You got different map lights right here as well, and then of course controls for all of your interior lighting from that switch there. And I think that pretty much covers it, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did and you learned something, please don't hesitate. Click like, click subscribe. If for whatever reason you don't like the vehicle, I'd like to hear your thoughts about it. Feel free to put a comment below. Sorry. Feel free to comment below on whether or not you like this car and whether or not you think it looks as cool as I do. I think it looks great ever since the redesign. If you do have any questions, again, please don't hesitate to comment below as well. Again, thank you so much. Have a great day. Thanks for watching. Till next time, adios.